but it was just something that I kind of just, I felt like made sure I was commission qualified every month. I ran my auto shipment. I turned off my husband's auto shipment because I was like, you know what, I can't afford it, but at least I can do mine. At least I can be commission qualified for me.
What is you doing, baby?
Pause, 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 alert, 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 alert. Had to keep auto shipment going in order to be commission qualified. What? Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tiana. For those of you who have been here before, this is a YouTube channel dedicated to anti-MLM content. I just really don't support the business model. I think it's inherently flawed. I think it uses deceptive and manipulative tactics to recruit people in order to, I guess, build a downline. I think it is very much similar to what one would call a pyramid scheme, just operated with the front of a product. It's a product-based pyramid scheme. I think it's a product-based pyramid scheme. Let's just call it what it is. It's a product-based pyramid scheme. So yeah, I don't support them. So I today want to discuss everything wrong with this ItWorks distributor's success story. So I was on YouTube watching videos like, you know, I always do, and I came across, you know, this video of this woman talking about what it took for her to get to the rank that she was at, and I want to kind of, I guess, well, I want to hear her story. I want you guys to hear her story too, but I also want to break down why I think that story is like, are you listening to what you're saying? But she's got people that are cheering her on and to go through these difficulties in her life, and I just think, you know, like, I understand struggling for a cause, like having a greater purpose, but I think that this to me isn't starting your own business. In my personal opinion, I would not consider anybody's direct sales business or network marketing business like their own small business, because first off, there's a corporate company that people actually get paid to do that work, like in a corporate office for whatever network marketing business you think that you work for, that you don't work for the man. There's a corporate head office. There is a corporate head office. There's corporate that has to get on the phone and make announcements to you about what you can and can't post, what you can and can't say. You know, they have to warn you when you make certain claims about your product. At the end of the day, if you own your own business, you're not gonna have that kind of overhead. You're not gonna be required to get on a bunch of Zoom calls, and you're not gonna be required to, you know, maintain your business and stay in the business, because your business is really reliant on somebody else's business. So like, if you quit, like, you let them down. Not, you only let them down, you let your team down. Like, I just think it's obvious. Like, we don't need to go into that. But anyways, so this is a Zoom call run by like a pretty high up distributor in ItWorks. She's got a pretty large team. I don't know like really much about her other than she's like pretty, I don't know, emerald, diamond, ruby, double diamond, ruby, diamond. Who knows? I don't know the lingo. I don't know the ItWorks lingo.
And if you'll just tell your story, just introduce yourself, tell us how you got started, and then we'll go into like kind of, you know, what led you to where you're at right now after that.
I've been in the business almost 2 years. July 9th will actually be 2 years.
Oh, wow.
That I've been in, and yes, I am only ruby. I was charted diamond, almost double diamond about a year ago, but I never, you know, completely made it to as far as I wanted to, and I went ruby in my first 30 days. Like, I was ruby, I had the volume, and then I thought it was something that I didn't have to really maintain. I didn't really, you know, do all the steps that we did. I followed, you know, I ghosted her for 9 months on just an order of coffee and greens before I finally ordered. And then I had 5 people within a week of me getting my order wanting the product that I had. And I was like, okay, might as well sell it. It couldn't be that hard. You know, I signed 6 customers in 72 hours.
The real question is if she went ruby so fast in the first time, why would she have ghosted her the first time around? First off, that I don't understand. If you did so well the first time around, you then just like didn't talk to the girl that like, what? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Back then we only needed 4 before we started building. And I just started going, but it was something like I was given a spot, but I took advantage of everything and of all the help he did. And then, you know, my husband works in the oil field. So with all of that, you know, we've been through the ups and downs. We kind of had some downs. Last August is when it started falling for us. And I literally ran my auto shipment. I quit messaging people. I quit following up with people. I was charted diamond. Like my husband was charted emerald. My mom was charted ruby. Like and then I had another emerald on my chart as well. And so I had all of that.
Let's also stop. Her situation was her husband and her mom. That, like, her husband was charted emerald and her mom was charted ruby. Okay? She had to get her, like, you know what I mean? Like, not everybody's like, people just, like, are living. Like, you don't want to have to go out and convince like, it has to start nuclear. Like, people, you know, like, I was charted, and it doesn't have to, but, like, I guess it doesn't have to. People can start other places, but for most people, it starts with your friends and your family.
But it was just something that I kind of I felt like made sure I was commission qualified every month. I ran my auto shipment. I turned off my husband's auto shipment because I was like, you know what, I can't afford it, but at least I can do mine. At least I can be commission qualified for me.
What is you doing, baby?
Pause. Alert. Had to keep auto shipment going in order to be commission qualified. What? Like, come on. If you have a business that's just like running, you don't have to keep auto ship going in order to be qualified to earn your commission. She had to cancel her husband's auto ship because they couldn't afford it. So let's also take that into account, is that they both in their family had auto ship going at the same time. So they're both just getting like drop shipped, like booty loads of like ItWorks stuff. I don't really know. Like, you know, I don't know. Okay, let's continue. I mean, like, no, it's like actually like it's like that for her family. Like, I definitely, like, I'm not trying to like make light of like her situation, that like they were going through a hard time, but just like the actual, like, if we're looking at this from, you know, from above, like, it's not about her situation, because so many people in the same kinds of situations are like, it's like over and over again. It's cookie cutter. It's a different situation, just another person like caught into something where they're just going to end up going into debt. And I don't know, let's continue though, because I think it's going to point out some more flaws into the success story, and to why even reaching certain ranks doesn't really mean much anyways.
So we did that, but then this past, I think it was the month, at the end of April, my husband told me, he was like, you really need to watch what you're spending. And I said, excuse me? Like, I've already given on my nails during this quarantine. My eyelashes all came off. I was so mad. I was like, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to spend. All my distributors have canceled out underneath me. Like, nobody renewed after their first year. So it's like I literally started over as a single distributor with my husband and with my mom, and that was it. And I told myself, I am going to go from here. I went 10 months without signing a single customer, guys. 10 months. And I signed 11 in less than 6 days. So if I can do it, I mean, anybody can do it. And literally, host a post is the key. And that post that Brittany shared in the May chat, I posted that last Monday and had 15 potentials from that. I posted it today, and I've gotten, I think, like 8 or 9, and 3 people have already signed today from that one post. And I think I posted it at 2 o'clock. They didn't want to hear nothing that I had to say. They were literally like, I just want the product. Like, I don't, like, I can do my own eating. I can do my own workout. I can do my own water. They're like, quit asking me questions. Here's my information. Place my order. And I did. So, I mean, it's as simple as just asking people like, hey, would you take advantage of something that was given to you that is scientifically proven to use? And they're like, hey, yeah. So that's about my story. And I'm going to do my best to claim Ruby. I started out this month with a Ruby chart. I've got my Emerald chart, and I've got my Diamond chart. And they're all starting to fill out because nothing's going to stop me this.
Okay. So they got her on this call. They made her like a focal point for like this story. It's like getting unstuck. She had 10 months. Like, this whole story was, I enrolled my family. I like kind of did a little bit. I didn't really do much. We were like not really financially stable. And then I did host a post, and then I got some people, but then I dropped back. So you lost your rank. You know, you weren't motivated. I don't know. In order for me to understand like how this is, I don't know. She lost all of her, everybody quit. Did everybody hear that? When everybody quit her business. And so she had to start over with just her mom and her husband. And she had to cancel his auto ship. And they had to like qualify for commission. I don't know. Let's like think about it. I just think that it's not normal. Small businesses, if you own your own small business, it doesn't work like that. Right? It doesn't work like that. It just kind of like, it irks me a little bit because I think that there are like true people who are like it carries like an entrepreneurial spirit, but I think that there are people who are true entrepreneurs, and I don't think that like buying a starter kit in an MLM and then like making posts on your Instagram is like being an entrepreneur and like enrolling a bunch of people and recruiting a bunch of people to like try and sell the product. I don't know. I don't think that's being an entrepreneur in my personal opinion. And maybe it is, and that's okay if that's your opinion. But this is my opinion, and I think that there are better ways to start a small business. There's better ways to have more success, I think, with making a profit. I think we've discussed this on my channel before. Like 39% of small businesses are successful as opposed to like 1% of multi-level marketing companies.
I'm literally so proud of you. And I just appreciate you so much being so vulnerable. Jordan just said the exact same thing I did right when I said it. Seriously, your transparency, I promise you, so many people can relate to that. And, you know, whenever I think so many people, and I'm sure you can relate to this, they feel just very alone in their thoughts, and they can feel isolated, and they're like, oh, I'm just a failure. No one else is going through this. And the moment you realize, no, other people do go through stuff, but the quicker we just bring it out in the light and fix it, the quicker we can move on and we can be better than we ever were before. That's our best case scenario. And what I'm so proud about Connie, you guys, is that's what she did. She literally messaged me and she's like, hey, she's like exactly what she just said to you guys. She's like, my husband said I need to cut spending. I don't know what else I can cut. I want a good life. Like, I want to do all the things that I want to do. Like, I'm ready to jump back all in. And she wasn't just like all talk, no action. I was like, okay, let's go. And then she's like, I'm going to sign this many customers every single day. And that's what she's been doing. She's like, I'm going to get this many host to post up every single day. And that's what she's been doing.
Now let's talk like, what is host to post? Host to post is where you get somebody to make a post on your behalf. So, hey, if you post for me on Facebook, which, you know, I'll send you some products to try for free. Would you be interested in doing that? That's at least my understanding of how host to post works. So essentially they're now like, they're dipping into like other people's friends lists, and like that, I get why they're doing this. To me, again, I just think it's another manipulative tactic to say, yeah, hey, I need 5 people to do my friend's cleanse, or my friend is looking for 4 people to do XYZ. You know, if you'd be interested in doing because maybe it's like somebody that doesn't do MLMs. So then you have people peaked because they're like, oh, well, you know, Sarah doesn't do this, or like, I wonder what she's talking about, because she's not known to be associated with something like that. So I think that it works in their favor because they're getting people sent their way in that fashion too, but that's what host to post is. So yeah.
And what I love so much about the simplicity of what she just shared is it was a decision. At the end of the day, that's all it was. It was a decision of like, enough is enough. Here I am. I'm going to do the dang thing. And she's making it happen. And I
hate how it was a decision. Like, her success is a decision, as if the people that don't join, that like aren't successful, that they didn't decide to be successful, so that's why they weren't successful. Sorry, it wasn't a decision for you. It was a decision for her, but it wasn't a decision for you.
No doubt she's going diamond. And I'm so proud of you. And if you wanted to say anything else final about this before we move on to the other girls, you did not let the fact that no one was working on your team be an excuse. You did not let that just continue to be like, well, no one's working, so I guess I can't do it. You were like, you know what? I remember you voice messaging me. You're like, if I have to find all new people, then so be it. I'll do it. Do you want to share anything about that? I know there's people on here that is their hang up. They're like, well, everyone quit, or no one's working. I don't know what to do. What would you say to those people?
Okay, well, everyone quit. Oh, no one's working. Oh.
I would say never give up, because like, honestly, I signed my cousin, what was it, like 2-3 months ago? And you know what? I didn't get her fast start qualified. Because I didn't sign a customer. I hadn't signed a customer. She signed her first customer just the other day, and she's on here. And I was so proud because she
was in it for a few months. She didn't get her fast start qualified, but she signed her first customer. She didn't get herself fast start qualified. I don't know. It's her fault. She didn't get her cousin. I don't know. I mean, that part, but like, her cousin's on the call. And also, I think this is another thing that uplines use as like kind of another like manipulative tactic, is that for people who are maybe on the fence of joining, they get them in the spotlight. They get them sharing their story so that other people, like, not only did they just get out in front of everybody and like share this, but like it like holds them a little bit more accountable too, so their upline wants them to be held accountable. And you know, this has happened to me in certain circumstances before, where like you maybe like do one small successful thing and it's like, get up there and tell everybody how you did it, and it's like, you're not really sure if you did anything that great, or like, you know, it's like you're just still learning, but like you get up there and you're kind of like made an example of everybody. And I think it's in an attempt to make you like hype you up too and make you feel good. But like at the end of the day, like for me, it made me feel worse. It made me kind of reflect on like being made like a prop for the people that like wanted to make it seem like everything was so amazing, and like everything wasn't amazing. And I understand her story wasn't like, oh my god, this like everything's lush and lavish, but like it just tries to like, I don't know, it like tries to put like a perspective on somebody who was the underdog for so long, and like who like they had a breakthrough. So like, share how you had this breakthrough. It's just a little manipulative. But I don't know if that's how this happened, but this is like her upline's call. And you know, I mean, she's like telling everybody how she got unstuck, and to me it doesn't really sound like she's fully unstuck yet. It kind of just sounds like she's like deciding today that she's going to start turning things around. And she started doing a few hosted posts. She enrolled some people. I don't know, but she's like restarted with her. I don't know.
She blew me out of the water in the volume that she signed on her very first customer versus my little 31 BV orders that I have signed. I mean, I signed one. She was 89 BVs, and that was the most I had signed in over 10 months. But she blew it out of the water. She's, you know, keeping one of my legs alive over there. But I would definitely say don't give up. I mean, I have my husband. He supports me, but he doesn't actively like in the business because he's a numbers person. He's like, prove to me that you're going to do something. Prove to me that we're not wasting our money. You know, prove to me. He went with me to our very first.
I hate to say it, but babe, your husband is onto something. Like he sees what the reality of the situation is, and I think he's trying to get you to wake up. And it's really unfortunate that you don't want to listen to him. Like at the end of the day, again, you had to like cancel some orders. You were saying you weren't being very successful in the sales. Like you said, your cousin had well, first off, your entire business is leveraged on your family. And then secondly, your cousin is doing so much better because she had one big sale.
Conference. He didn't actually go to conference, but he did all the after party stuff. I didn't even go to conference this year because I couldn't afford it. And I bought my ticket, but I couldn't figure out how to get there. My room was paid for, my ticket was paid for, but I couldn't financially get there. And I felt like if I did.
So again, let's stress this, like these conferences, oh, I got my free trip to boo boo boo. Oh, my free vacation to Quintana Roo. I don't know, like whatever it is, like she bought her ticket to the conference. She bought her hotel at the conference. She could not afford the flight to the conference. So again, everything is paid for by you. She couldn't go to this conference. She couldn't afford this conference. Her family couldn't afford to go. Her husband was supposedly enrolled in auto ship. She was supposedly enrolled in auto ship. I don't know. To me, this is a mess, you guys.
I was going to let my family down because I'm just taking away from money from my family. So I would just say, never give up, because it doesn't matter if you have anybody working on your team. As long as you're working, the volume's going to be there. You are going to get the volume.
I love it so much. It really is so true.
I love it. I love it so much.
Where there's a will, there's a way. And if you just make that decision, like, I'm going to do it, why not me? That's when things start happening. But when we remain in a place in our head where all we're seeing is problems, you'll always find what you're looking for. You'll just keep finding more problems. But the moment you start looking for solutions, you start finding them. So thank you so, so much. Okay, now we're going to go over to Ashley. If you want to unmute yourself, and just share a little bit about your story, and then also share just what shifted for you.
So this is another woman on the call. I don't want to listen to her whole story, but I do just want to point out a small part of it just to illustrate another point that I just really want to bring it home. Is what shifted for you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm in my car because I don't get any service at my house. So I just went Ruby in April. I've been in the business since February of 2019. I actually watched posts for like 7 or 8 months before I ever messaged her. And then they had the $20 codes and I got started. Like literally I went and worked at my best friend's barn and got the $20 and joined. I worked consistently, finally got executive in May and June. Lost that at the end of June because literally like all of my customers were like, yeah, I can't do this, but I wasn't telling them correctly what to do, if that makes sense.
She lost all of her customers and they were like, yeah, I can't do this. She wasn't telling them correctly what to do.
So, lost everybody, started all over again, a distributor, worked my way up. We got custody.
And she called them. Let's also address this. She called, at first you might be thinking like, oh, they're her customers though. They're her retail customers. No, they were her customers. They were her downline. She literally calls them her customers and she says, I had to start over at distributor. So again, if you think you are on somebody's team, if you think that you're somebody's, A1, day one, upline, downline, yada, yada, yada. No, you're her customer. You lost a customer and she had to start all over again in her business. And if your business is hinged on somebody dropping out and losing everything, losing people and losing everything, and maybe the goal is to make your downline so big that doesn't have to happen. So if people, you gain a few, you lose a few, it's okay, but not everybody has that kind of operation to run. So I don't know. What do you guys think about this little chunk of getting unstuck? And do you think that these women are really unstuck? I guess we can't really speak to the whole second woman's story, but at least for the first woman, do you think that she's unstuck? Do you think that she's still stuck? Do you think that her upline has coerced her to kind of get on the line and speak so that it kind of holds her a little bit more accountable? Or do you think she was like, yeah, let me get on the line. I want to do the Zoom call tonight. Yeah, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell. Really appreciate it. I just appreciate it.